Patriotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Of his most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Welcome back, guys, to a brand new episode of Jaja's Atelier. It's your girl, and happy Juneteenth. It is officially Juneteenth. I think it's ironic that today is Juneteenth, especially when Black excellence, Black artistry, Black talent is reigning supreme during this week's Paris Fashion Week menswear edition. We're going to talk about that in a minute. It is also still Pride Month, so I want to honor somebody who I'm hugely inspired by, who I love very much, Queen Mother of us all, the legend, the icon, honey, the Grammy Award winner, the Emmy winner, the meme queen, queen of the motherfucking internet, Mother T.S. Madison received the logo, either Legacy or Legend Award, I can't remember, but received the logo Legacy Award this week. She was presented by people like Miss Tina Knowles, Billy Eichner, and I have to say I was moved to tears watching her mom, Miss Mary, who I find to be so hilarious, and just she always anytime she's on the show with Madison and Craig and oh my god, shit, what is his name? Mo. I am so sorry. She always has such good words for them all, and she's always so encouraging, and she really moves the way a Christian should move. And I thought just the way her and T.S. Madison's relationship is, and to hear about where they came from, where their relationship came from, I just thought this is how it should be. This is really how it should be. And also realizing that I kind of did a soft launch on my mom. Oh, I can't believe I'm talking about this on the show. But I kind of came out to my mom about being trans in a way. But that also kind of made me sad watching that, because I realized that I probably won't ever have that with my mom. My mom is way older than Miss Mary, and my mom just has her ways and her beliefs. But I love her dearly, and she wasn't mad about it. But it's not going to be like that. And it's not supposed to be. Not everybody's situation is the same, but it's good to see that some people actually do have that. So huge shout out to T.S. Madison, and also huge shout out to her again, because she received the Grammy that all the haters online were saying just didn't exist, from her being on Beyonce's Renaissance album for the song Cozy. So listen, watching T.S. Madison just lets me know there's space for me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So keep on inspiring me and all the rest of us. And those who like to hate on her, girl, fuck you, honey. Ain't nobody got time for all that. It's too much money over there in the Madison house for anybody to be worried about any of that. But again, huge congratulations. Also, it's Juneteenth. We're still talking about Black excellence, but we're going to talk about a little bit of Black love and talk about a couple who I am obsessed with. Huge congratulations to Nelly and Ashanti, reporting to TMZ, Hollywood Unlocked, and Shade Room now. The couple has been married for at least 6 months. Of course, you guys know Ashanti is expecting her first child with Nelly. Now, they used to date back in the day, and it's like almost 20 years later, and he's spin the block, and he could not look. I didn't see him happy, like this happy with his last girlfriend, Gladys Skep, but he looked so happy. The two of them just, it's no disrespect. It's no baby mamas, baby daddies coming out the woodwork. It's no scandal, honey. They're just living their lives. She's pregnant as all hell, getting up on stage, singing her hits every night. And he's... Lord Jesus. I don't know what that was. I live on a highway, not near a train station, but okay. Anyway, and he's in the audience just cheering her on. Listen, huge congratulations to Ashanti. She just recently did an interview with ET. I had the video right here, and she just talked about the way he proposed to her was so cute, and she was in his boxers and his t-shirt, and they were just laying in the bed, and they look like they really enjoy each other's company. It's not about just the sex. It's not about them being together. I think they clearly really enjoy each other's company. And they seem like the best of friends. They seem like homies to me more than anything, but in the most romantic way possible. So huge congratulations to them. I love seeing this. Keep it going. Keep inspiring real true love out here, because it's not a lot of it. It's really not. So I love seeing this. Now, I'm doing everything from the tablet again today, guys. I'm slowly upgrading. So give me a minute here. So Paris Fashion Week Menswear Edition has officially kicked off, honey. It's only been 2 days. This is the second day. And honey, let me tell y'all something. Pharrell shut it the fuck down, okay? Pharrell came through. It is Juneteenth. There are so many moments in this show and in this collection. I love the backdrop. He talked to WWD and other fashion publications about the meaning behind the show, and it's just him just wanting to unify everybody. He said, we're at a rough time. You know what? Instead of listening to me say what he said, how about we just listen to what he said?
I would never, ever dare to think that we could be a reason for people to come together. But to present that notion and to present the possibility in a poetic way is the only thing that we can do. Like only people can decide that they want to come together. I mean, there's so much divisiveness out there in the world. Listen, that wasn't a show about peace. That was a show about unity and the oneness of what one could look like when you just invite everybody in as a whole. That's all that was. And by the way, again, we're not the most poetic. We're not this. We're not that. What we are is appreciative of this opportunity and this platform that it is at Louis Vuitton.
So humble. I like how he just really made sure that everybody working with him was included in his roundup conversation with the journalist. Listen, Pharrell, with each collection, it's getting better and better and better and better and better. And this collection was absolutely stunning. Let's also talk about the cast of models that he chose. A pretty much all black cast of models in all shades, sizes. Well, not too much sizes now, but in all shades of blackness. I love seeing this. I really did. Coleman Domingo was there with a host of other celebrities looking fabulous. So huge congratulations to Pharrell. Also, I loved the Kenzo show by Nigo. I like the Prince. It was the trippy Prince, and he has his own aesthetic, and I think that I think it's really cool. It's not. I would wear some of the pieces. I love the embroidered tank tops. I'm also looking at it right now. I love the acid wash khakis, almost it looks like, and the bags and the accessories. Kenzo is Nigo and Kenzo. Nigo is the creative director. Kenzo is the brand. Listen, it's cool, and I see a lot of guys rocking it. And this collection, it's great. I really enjoyed it. Also, the Clipse. I don't know if you guys remember iconic, legendary hip-hop group The Clipse also announced that, they have a special relationship with the creative director, Nigo, and they also announced that they have a new album coming now. The Clipse haven't had an album together as a group in a long time. I know Pusha T has been making waves with his albums, especially outing Drake for having a son. That was pretty legendary. But to see the two of them back together, they're actually, I think they're twins. If they're not twins, they're definitely brothers. But I can't wait to hear that album. I'm a huge fan of the Clipse. And I think they were also at the Louis Vuitton show, if I'm not mistaken. Also on the Paris Fashion Week menswear schedule, we have the beautiful Bianca Sanders with another menswear collection. And this was for the trippy nerds. I really enjoyed this collection. I love just the awkward silhouettes. Listen, Bianca Sanders is another, I believe this is the first time actually that a black woman might have debuted her own collection during Paris Fashion Week, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of another. I really can't think of another. Is my phone dying? Okay, no. It just went dark all of a sudden. I had to make sure. Anyway, but yeah, I can't think of another black woman who has debuted during Paris Fashion Week. So, and to have that happen so close to Juneteenth, brava. I love the collection, and I really love her. I'm really championing for her because we need to see more of this. It's not every day. Let me tell y'all something. Bianca Sanders, we have to put a lot behind her as a community because it's not every day that you see a black woman heading her own house debuting at Paris Fashion Week. It's not every day. It's not ever, I don't think. Not ever. So, listen, let's get behind this brand. Her stuff is a little bit more on the expensive side, but you know, y'all be talking about y'all can afford this and y'all can afford that. Start investing in some black designers. Bianca Sanders has great stuff, and you know, she typically does menswear, but listen, the ladies could get in on it too. So, listen, it's not all Louis Prada, Gucci. Sometimes we could do a little Bianca Sanders, a little Brandon Blackwood. Let's really start putting our money where our mouths are. Here is a luxury fashion brand headed by a black woman, owned by a black woman. Let's support. It's Juneteenth, motherfuckers. Anyway, so listen, today is going to be a quick show, okay? But I also have to touch on this when we're talking about fashion. Honey, the Jamaican Queens reunites for Naomi Campbell's opening for her exhibition at the VA Museum. I have not seen Grace Jones and Naomi Campbell in the same room in decades. I love Grace Jones. Warm leatherettes. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hip-hop songs that sampled her. Shine's Bad Boys sampled Grace Jones. We're night clubbing. Night clubbing. LL Cool J famously sampled Grace Jones. Doing it well. You know? So, listen, anytime I get a chance to see Grace Jones, I almost saw her in concert last year at the Something in the Water Fest, but unfortunately it got rained out and I didn't get to have my Grace Jones fucking moment. And it was a huge moment for me because I hardly ever go anywhere. So, you know, I was ready. But unfortunately, it got rained out. So anytime I get a chance to see Grace Jones, especially with Naomi Campbell, I could only imagine the kiki that the two of them had. Honey, look at how beautiful they look. I only have one salacious story today. I mean, we have really been on our best behavior. It's all about black love. It's all about black artistry this week. I've been on cloud 9 all week. Now, I did have a little incident at the grocery store. Y'all want to get into some of my personal business? So listen. Let's talk a little greasy for a minute. And I already talked to my sister. Y'all know Shannon. Hey, girl. I already talked to my sister about this, you know. So I had to stop at the grocery store today. And I saw a girl that I hadn't seen in a long time. You guys know, if you guys have been following the channel since its birth, honey, a couple years ago, you guys know I used to work at the Goodwill. So she was one of my customers from the Goodwill that I would see regularly. And at the time, she was getting married. So when I saw her, you know, I hadn't seen her, you know, before she got married. So I was like, well, girl, hey, girl, you know, we was doing all that, you know, all that shit. I was like, oh, so, you know, how was your wedding? Did you get married yet? Are you guys still planning? And she was like, well, girl, you know, he cheated on me and had a baby, so we're not together anymore. And I was like, you know what, men ain't shit. And she was like, yeah, but I have a new man, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And I was like, well, you know, congratulations, girl. You hop off one bus, you get on the next one. Just don't miss your transfer. That's what I told her. So, this bitch... This cunt decides to pull out her phone and show me a picture of her guy, and she then proceeds to ask me, do you know him? And I was like, no, I've never seen him before. She was like, whoo, just this whole spirit of relief came over her, honey. And so I'm kind of looking at her like, what's going on? And she's like, oh, well, I just, these men, they funny these days, and I just can't, if you know them, I don't want to deal with them because all of them probably messed around, and I'm not trying to catch anything. Honey, we were in the aisle with the milk and the yogurt and the cheese, and I politely cussed her slam the fuck out. Let me tell you something. And this is not the first time that this has happened to me. And a lot of girls do this to the trans girls, and they do it to the gays because they think it's, yeah, girl, yeah. But you don't realize how offensive that is. First of all, we're in the grocery store, you bitch. There are people all around, and you are acting as if I have some kind of venereal sexually transmitted disease, and you are checking. Like, first of all, let me start by saying this. AIDS and HIV is one of the leading causes amongst heterosexual black women. And that's not to say it's their fault, because most of the time it's not. But, so to say that to me, the next time I start dating somebody, maybe I need to ask her if she knows him. Because us trans girls and us gays, we take our Tic Tacs. Okay? And just for the record, I don't have to take Tic Tacs. Thank God. And thank God that there are medications out here like PrEP and things like that, so people can live a normal life. Please stop putting, to all the heterosexuals who so ignorantly believe that you cannot get a sexually transmitted disease, most notably HIV and AIDS, because you are not homosexual, please pick up your books, your encyclopedias, your dictionaries, go online, check these things before you make ignorant statements, and that'll help you from being cussed out. And it'll also help you from looking like an ass. Because when she said it, I had a visceral, and she's like yelling at me back like, but I didn't even mean it like that. So I was like, well, bitch, how the fuck did you mean it? I said, the next time you see me, honey, keep your head down. Don't even look my way. You're disgusting. And there's no excuse for that. None. Honey, well, that's what I dealt with today. I got in the car and I was driving and I was like, man, I didn't have to cuss her out like that. I'm not going to tell y'all what I said because it was really nasty. But, this mouth is lethal. It's registered in 16 states in this country, honey. Just, so tread lightly, all right? I don't bother nobody. I make a line in the sand. Just don't cross that motherfucker and we'll be all right. You know what I mean? But, and this kind of leads into my next story. So Business of Fashion, let me pull it up here. Business of Fashion has released a new article, and the title is Why Fashion Went Silent on Pride Month this year. And so I read the whole article, but you know what? I know exactly why they went silent this year, and it's because of all the backlash they face when they do honor LGBTQIA plus people in the LGBTQIA plus community. Sabato DeSorno did a tiny ad campaign for Gucci a couple months ago, and it was just two men just kissing. And it was just, oh my God, I'm not buying this brand anymore. I just can't, I have to throw out all my, it was like that serious. And I think the Republicans have played a huge role in that. The Republicans do push the narrative. They light the match. And a lot of the times, the black community blows the whole fuse. Sometimes. Listen, I gotta call a spade a spade. I know it's Juneteenth. But, black people do contribute to the majority of luxury sales. And when these brands see you online, whether you're famous or not, making these, not always homophobic, but um the black community, certain people in the black community, I don't consider it homophobic or transphobic, but you definitely stand on top of your soapbox and with your bullhorn about how much you don't like the gays and the trans. And they see this. I think it's a cop-out, although I do somewhat think it's a cop-out because, listen, people are going to buy luxury whether they like what you stand for or not, because a lot of these brands have been called out for doing some things that are considered racially insensitive, and we still go out and buy that stuff. So it's gonna affect your sales, but not by much. Ain't nobody giving up their Louis Prada Gucci, okay? But and it's not just black people, it's everybody. I don't know why specifically trans people, trans black women specifically, are getting so much heat. Like, I remember when it was the gays, when Obama made it legal for gays to get married, and there was a lot of people who were Democrats that was like, I'm not voting for him again. I'm not. That's why his when he ran the second time, it was he won. He didn't win by a landslide. And him legalizing gay marriage had a lot to do with that. I don't know what it is about sexuality that gets people so upset. I'm starting to think that trans and gay people are God's chosen people, because why is everybody so... Isn't there a secret power that we hold that people just don't want to get out? Like, what is it? And then I also saw this documentary on Discovery Channel for animals, and all my life I was told that animals couldn't be gay, but it comes to find out that the animals are very gay. They're also trans animals. Animals that can go back and forth between male and female and impregnate themselves. So I'm kind of like, well, listen, I've said this several times. 2024, I'm starting to realize a whole lot of untruths that were told to me as a child. And it's a lot of stuff bubbling from the surface that were told to us as children that just aren't true. And then there's other things, like when you really sit down and think about the Bible and all the things that the Bible say and who gave us that Bible. The motherfuckers that gave us that Bible didn't even want us to read. So it's a whole lot of things that I'm realizing the older I get and as time goes on. But what I really want for the world is to just lay off the gays. There's so many other problems that you could be, and it's not even a problem. It's somebody's personal preference. If I want to wear this strawberry blonde Julia Roberts wig as a black trans woman and walk down the street, with my tiptoeing in my heels and minding my business, how does that bother you? If two men want to lay in the bed and fuck each other till the cows come home, how does that offend you? And why should everybody have to do it in secret? Y'all don't be having these kids out of wedlock in secret. Y'all men don't be having sex and making broken homes with all these women in secret. Y'all don't be sleeping with each other's spouses and significant others in secret. It might start off in secret, but y'all motherfuckers don't know how to keep shit to y'allself, so it end up coming out any fucking way. So what's the difference? Let people live. I'm not even going to read nobody today, except for Marlon Wayans in a minute. But I'm not even really going to... I'm not really going to read anybody on this situation. Just let people live. Stop bothering you. You having 7 baby daddies doesn't bother me. You being a man and not taking care of your kids, it ain't bothering me. That's all. So, all right. So what's our last story here? let's see. What do I want to talk about? Oh, so Marlon Wayans is in the news again. And listen, I never think Marlon Wayans means any harm when he comes out and he does these ridiculous things. But he's really pushed it to the limit this time. Come on, Marlon. So Marlon Williams sits with Nathan Wade. Now, if you're not familiar, Nathan Wade is the man that was working on the trial with Fani Willis in Atlanta against Donald Trump. I think it was for the voter fraud or something like that. And they ended up, they spent a lot of time together working on the case, and they ended up hooking up. Well, it all came out in court, and it became a big thing. It came out in the public, and it became this huge thing. So Marlon Wayans sits down with Nathan Wade, and he basically drills him and makes a complete fool out of himself, if you ask me, asking the man about his past relationship with Fani Willis. That whole situation almost cost them that case. I think the trial is still going, I believe. But that whole situation almost set Donald Trump free. And I think that you making fun of it in this way, I know you didn't mean any harm, Marlon. This is just you. This has been you since I was a kid. Like, I remember watching you used to do this crazy stuff. But you need to learn how to read the room, Marlon. Because why didn't you interview Stormy Daniels and ask her about her relationship with Trump? Why did it have to be Nathan Wade talking about Fani Willis? And Nathan Wade, why did you sign up to do this? And it's like, and this is what's wrong with our legal system, our people that work in government. They all want to be stars. They all want a moment, and that's not what your position entails. We don't need you to have a moment. We need you to sit down and do your job and keep your mouth shut if you're going to do dirt. That's what we need. We don't need a viral moment from y'all. Y'all are the ones handling our money, our social security card, our social security numbers. Y'all are handling, our court cases. We don't need you on the internet doing a goddamn thing. This goes to the lawyers, the government workers, the doctors, unless you're a plastic surgeon, just show them what you could do. Stay in your lane. And if I was Fani Willis, I would be fucking pissed that he got up here and was talking about me. I don't give a fuck. He didn't say anything crazy, but still, why are you talking about what we had going on when it almost cost both of you your careers? Come on now, Marlon. Come on now, Wade. Nathan Wade, excuse me. Come on now. It's Juneteenth. Anyway, guys, I told y'all it was going to be a short show today. That's all I got for y'all because everybody's seemingly being on their best behavior. And somebody did DM me and ask me if I was going to talk about Chrisean Rock going to jail. This is what I have to say about Chrisean Rock going to jail. Good enough for sitting in that cell, let her dry out, and find a good foster home for that baby. And that's today's episode. Anyway, guys, I will be back this weekend to give you guys all the updates from Paris Fashion Week Menswear Edition. And also, we have Haute Couture Week to look forward to, so I'm really excited about that. It's been a pleasure. I'm taking this makeup off, and I'm going to bed. Au revoir, good night, and ciao!